Hello, we're back again. Back again. Now that the nonce business is done, I'm supposed to be typing, but I just don't feel like it. I'll make another video. Alright, so we're on. Oh, two kitties hissing at each other. I'm on CSS fonts now, another section. We've moved on to CSS fonts. Let's see. I'm going through my notes here. Font family is an attribute, property. The font family property is used in CSS to specify the font applied to an element. Font name or font family can be used. Either one. For example, like a P for paragraph, and then the brackets. Hit it in VSC, you hit enter and it goes down one to a blank line. You can put something like font dash family, Arial, comma Helvetica. That way, it'll look for Arial to see if Arial's in there in your computer. If it is, it'll use Arial. If not, then it'll go to Helvetica. So you can put 2, 3 in a line and have it just choose whichever one. If it doesn't have this, then take this one. If it doesn't have this, then take this one. Common font family categories. This is just what they think. Cursive, fantasy, monospace, sans serif, and serif. I see Times New Roman and Arial in there all the time. I don't know why they. I guess you can't put them all. If they were going to put people's favorite fonts, it'd be a long list. So, cursive, fantasy, monospace, sans serif, and serif. Let's see what else we got here. Each font family used is separated by a comma. Of course, like I told you, Arial, Times New Roman. And ends with a semicolon. So you would have font family and then a colon, and then the name of the font family. And if you have a couple of them, then you go down to the end and then put the semicolon down there. Or if you only have the one font, then you put it right after that. I put a link to web-safe fonts in there. We had one to Font Squirrel. I put in another link to more free fonts. The @ sign, @ font face enables the loading of a font file It's provided on the web style sheet. Provided on the style sheet, which we'll put on the style sheet @ font face. Put the link in there. Another link to font face defined. Pretty long in Mozilla Developer Network. I put that one in there too. Like I said, an example of the loading of a font file. You have like @ font dash face, then the bracket, enter, font dash family like Gentium. Hit enter. Source URL where it is. Like a Google Fonts or somewhere where you're going to draw it from somewhere else. And then at the end you put gentium.ttf and then the semicolon. And then the last bracket. Hit enter and then put the last bracket on the bottom. There's a list of formats. This is the list of formats supported by WC3, which is embedded open type, which is .eot, which is the file type. .eot, open type, which is .ttf or .otf, svg, which is .svg or .svgz, true type, which is the one a lot of people are used to, ttf, And WOFF, which is the Web Open Font Format, is .WOFF. And then WOFF2 is the same Web Open Font Format, but it's number 2, so it's .WOFF2. Pages. You know, the picture quality isn't so bad. See, even if I get up here, the picture quality isn't so bad. I'm not the best looking thing in the world, but at least the picture quality's not bad. Not that bad. I don't know when they're getting the webcam. I didn't even ask. Internet Explorer. There's a bug in Internet Explorer with fonts. And like if you're loading multiple versions like Arial, comma, Times New Roman, comma, serif, comma, you can go on and on. The get around this fix is here's the fix. It's to get around a known bug for not loading multiple versions of font files. So if you have like multiple versions of the font file, one's OTF, like you want Times New Roman, so you want a Times New Roman TTF, a Times New, you want 2 or 3 different types of uses for the same font, file extensions for the same font. It's not going to load very well multiple versions of font files. I don't know if this bug still exists or what. But the way to get around it is #hashtag IE fix. And that's to get rid of the Internet Explorer bug that won't allow multiple versions of the file. Those are ferrets, by the way, in case anybody's wondering, what are these guys? Those are ferrets. Fonts with multiple names get single quotation marks, not double, but single, like Times New Roman. Times New Roman, you put a single mark upon each side. Font size is a complicated CSS property. It is difficult how they relate to each other and how they change depending on the font family. So the units of measurement, you can have the absolute size or the relative size to the browser default. The size is medium. I have my hands up there the whole time. The browser default size is medium. So you can have, let's say, XX-large, X-large, large, medium, small, extra small, X-small, XX-small, and then the 2 relative ones, smaller and larger. These are the ones I was reading off are absolute size. But you can use the relative size with smaller and larger. So you can say smaller and smaller and smaller, or larger and larger and larger, and it will adjust to the relative size. So let's see. Where are we going here? There's a lot of notes here. I've been goofing around, haven't got up on here. Like I said, the units of measurement, XX small to XX large, are absolute size keywords relative to the user's default font size, which is medium. So you should be expecting medium, even though it's not true. Some people turn it up to larger. But you should expect medium there. So when you use things like XX small to XX large, you're doing it from medium. Smaller and larger, like I said, are relative size keywords. They change relative to the parent element font size. Font style, there's only 3 of them: normal, italic, and oblique. And you should use italic instead of oblique. It's there, but they say you should use italic instead of oblique. They put on another link, more on font style from Mozilla. It's on there. Font variant, normal and small caps. The small caps turns lowercase letters into small caps. They are rarely used and poorly supported. But it's there. Let's see what else we have. Font weight. Font weight can be any number between 1 and 1,000. Like bold would be a font weight. That's like 700 is bold. 400 is normal. So as you can see, you can give them the size. Bold, bolder, lighter, and normal. Those are font weights. It can be bold. It can, again, getting relative again, it can be bolder, lighter, or just normal, which is what you're going to get in the browser anyways. If it detects a strong tag in there, it's going to make it strong irregardless of your font weight. Most fonts are either bold or normal. Bold is 700, like I said. Normal is 400. Line height. You know how you get so much space in a line? Well, you can increase that space in the line by simply changing the line height. The amount of vertical space used for lines, most commonly in text. This is where you're going to see it anyways. The best option is to use a unitless number. The number is relative to the font size of the text. For example, if you set line height to 1, you would have no space in between the lines of text. If you just set the line height to 1. But if you change it to 2, 2.2, 1.8, if you change it around, then you'll see more space growing in there. So if you put it on 5, then you would see like big giant jumps of line height. So the default is 1.2 or normal for line height. You would write it the same way. Line height colon 1.2 semicolon line height normal line height colon normal semicolon. Oh, hi. You looking to see what's in here? There's a cat standing there. I have 2 cats too. So nope, the cat's going up higher. And we're running out on the end here. When you use the word font, it's kind of a shorthand. It's all-inclusive. You can slap a bunch of stuff under there, like font, colon, font style. Now remember, if you have a number of them, you leave the semicolon down to the end. So you can have font, colon, font style, hit enter, font variant, hit enter, font weight, hit enter, font stretch, hit enter. When you put the font size in there, if you're going to adjust the line height, you can leave it and it'll come out normal if you just leave the font size without the line height. But if you're going to have the line height in there with you, you want spaces in between the lines, you need to put in font size / line height. And that's when you can put in the values for font style variant. You can put in all those values. If one of the options is missing, like there is no font weight, the browser default just ends up being used. So, and then there's a semicolon at the end of font family after font size / line height. Then you can, that means you close them all up. That's about it for notes, and I guess I will see you again. I have an exercise to do today and then a quiz to take, and then we're starting on section 3. I don't even know what that is. I didn't even look. So thank you very much. Oh, Kitty, what'd you knock that down for? Like and subscribe, I guess. And I will talk to you the next time I have more information to share. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.